Gluvelop is pitching smelling salts that promise instant energy and laser focus for athletes. The listing says more than 1,000 bought it recently, and it waves an NDC badge that looks official. Here's the reality. The product is an ammonia inhalant in a small bottle with cotton you rehydrate with water. The NDC number shown is 85590000201, and it maps to a drug label filed under a Chinese packager named Shenzhen Nanjun Technology Co., Ltd. The brand domain is not a real site and is listed for sale, which is not the mark of an established company. On Amazon, the seller name is Binrui Trading, and the item is flagged as non-returnable, which puts all quality risk on you. The listing went live in mid-July 2025, which means this is new to market and likely private labeled. Claims about boosting energy and motivation are classic category puffery. Ask yourself if this is clever innovation or just a generic bottle with a big promise. Customer reality is thin because the listing is young. Early buyers report typical smelling salt behavior, which is a harsh blast that shocks your senses and can feel like focus. That is not magic. That is ammonia. Because the product only appeared this summer, there is not a long track record of consistent ratings or detailed athlete testing. What jumps out is the mismatch and sloppy copy on the page, which includes unrelated words and odd attributes that suggest someone rushed the template and did not proof it. Non-returnable status means if the jar dries out or arrives weak, you are chasing the seller for a fix instead of using a standard return label. If you value social proof, this is not a mature SKU with years of verified feedback. It is a new listing with basic claims and limited independent reviews, which means you are the beta tester. Design and provenance are typical of the category. Many look-alike bottles in sports niches share the same dosage form and sometimes the same overseas labeler, which explains why different brands list near identical directions and weights. That NDC number does not mean FDA approval for boosting alertness or performance, and it does not certify effectiveness for sports use. It is essentially an identifier in a directory. Shipping on Amazon can be fast, but pay attention to who fulfills the order and where replacements come from, since some third-party sellers rotate names. Price usually lives around the $20 to $30 mark for jars like this, which is on par with other white label options. You are paying for a one-trick product that delivers a brief reflex jolt. No app, no program, no coaching. If the bottle dries, you add a splash of water and hope the punch returns, which is as low-tech as it sounds. Now, the safety and policy context is where buyers should slow down. U.S. regulators have warned consumers about unapproved ammonia inhalant products that market alertness or energy. The concern is irritation to eyes and airways and the risk of masking symptoms rather than enhancing performance. Pro sports are also tightening up, with teams no longer supplying ammonia products during games, which tells you how the risk trend is moving. This is not a dietary supplement in the wellness sense, and the DSEA-style disclaimers on retail pages do not convert hype into evidence. There is no listed U.S. headquarters for the brand and no corporate registration. You can easily cross-check, which is another reason to treat it as a commodity import rather than a legacy sports company. Verdict is mixed. Not an outright scam because ammonia salts are a real and old thing, yet the brand depth is paper thin and the benefits are short-lived with irritation risks. Worth the hype or worth the headache? If you still want smelling salts, buy from a reputable retailer with clear returns.